Each year, the world spends over $20 billion on vegan leather products. And one of the most talked about materials is a plant that grows in the desert, the cactus. What happens after cactus leaves are cut from the plant? How are they processed to become a material that can be cut, sewn, and used just like real leather? The answer lies in a precise and modern multi-stage manufacturing process. Today, let's explore the entire process of producing vegan leather from cactus with Mido Explained to see what has transformed a desert plant into one of the most talked about animal leather alternatives today. Let's get started. To meet the demand for genuine leather, the industry uses the hides of over 300 million animals annually. Much of this hide is a byproduct of the meat industry, but its use is still tied to large-scale livestock farming, an industry that consumes vast amounts of land and water and generates significant greenhouse gases. Therefore, many view vegan leather as a way to reduce reliance on animal-derived materials. However, there's a common misconception. Vegan leather doesn't always equate to being environmentally friendly. Vegan leather simply means it's not animal-derived. In reality, many vegan leathers are still made from plastics like PU or PVC, thus consuming fossil fuels and creating their own environmental challenges. Therefore, when evaluating a vegan leather, it's important not only to consider whether it's plant-based, but also the entire production process and its composition. In your opinion, which is a more sustainable option? Animal leather or vegan leather that uses polymers? Please leave your thoughts in the comments. The journey of creating vegan leather from cactus begins in the fields of Opuntia ficus indica, also known as prickly pear cactus, which is primarily grown in Mexico. This plant is highly drought-tolerant thanks to its CAM photosynthesis mechanism, which allows the plant to open its stomata at night to reduce water loss, thus requiring very little water to grow. After about 6 months, the plant begins to produce mature leaves ready for harvesting. Instead of cutting down the entire plant, workers only cut the fully developed leaves with knives or specialized tools, while leaving the stem and young leaves intact so the plant can continue to grow. Thanks to this method, a single cactus can be harvested multiple times over many years without replanting, improving land use efficiency and reducing cultivation costs. During the harvesting process, workers select only intact leaves that are free from pests, diseases, or damage to ensure the quality of the raw material. Each mature leaf is typically 12 to 24 inches long, with internal tissue containing 85 to 90% water, making them highly susceptible to damage from strong impacts or prolonged exposure to the environment. Therefore, immediately after cutting, the leaves are neatly arranged in specialized plastic containers or trays with high sides to minimize crushing and deformation during transport. Due to their high water content, the raw materials are usually transported to the factory on the same day, or within hours of harvesting, to preserve freshness and natural components before the cleaning process begins. Upon arrival at the factory, the cactus leaves first undergo a cleaning process to remove dust, sand, impurities, and any remaining thorns. Before washing, small thorns and clusters of tiny spines are removed using knives or specialized equipment to ensure worker safety and prevent them from mixing with the raw materials in subsequent stages. Then, the material is washed with clean water using a pressure spray system or an automatic washing conveyor to thoroughly clean both sides of the leaf without damaging the plant tissue structure. Finally, workers inspect the leaves again and remove any damaged, discolored, or substandard leaves, ensuring that only the best quality material is transferred to the next stage. After being cleaned, The cactus leaves are fed into a preliminary cutting system that cuts them into pieces about 2 inches long before being transferred to an industrial grinder. Here, stainless steel blades quickly break down the leaf structure, creating a homogeneous biomass consisting of water, fiber, and natural compounds found in the cactus. Interestingly, after grinding, the cactus leaf mixture is in a paste form and cannot be used for leather production immediately. Grinding not only reduces the material, but also releases the natural components within the leaves. To ensure consistent quality, the biomass is ground until almost no large cactus pieces remain, helping the components to disperse evenly throughout the mixture. This also increases the surface area of the material, allowing for faster and more uniform drying in the next stage. Once complete, the entire biomass is transferred to a drying stage to remove most of the water before being further processed into vegan leather material. Instead of using industrial dryers, many manufacturers choose to sun-dry the material for about 3 days, significantly reducing moisture content while saving energy. Throughout this process, the biomass is spread in thin layers and turned regularly to allow moisture to escape evenly, minimizing localized dampness. Once the required dryness is achieved, the raw material is fed into a fine grinding machine to create a uniformly sized cactus powder. At this stage, the cactus powder is transferred to an industrial mixing tank to be blended with a bio-based binder, biopolymer, and a small amount of additives to improve the material's strength, flexibility, water resistance, and stability. Inside the mixing tank, the agitators operate continuously at approximately 60 revolutions per minute, ensuring the cactus powder is evenly dispersed throughout the mixture, preventing clumping or separation. After achieving the required homogeneity, the mixture is transferred to the fabric base layer, a step that shapes the structure of the vegan leather. Depending on the intended use, manufacturers may choose fabrics such as cotton, recycled polyester, or technical textiles as reinforcement layers to increase tensile strength and tear resistance. The cactus mixture is then applied to the fabric surface using a knife-over-roll system, where a metering blade evenly distributes the material into a thin layer approximately 0.01 to 0.03 inches thick, depending on the product line. After being coated onto the backing fabric, the material sheets are placed on metal trays and put into a drying chamber to remove any remaining moisture and to help the binders and biopolymers bond more securely. For biomaterials, this process typically takes place at a temperature of around 160 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 to 4 hours, depending on the thickness of the coating and the formulation. The temperature is carefully controlled to allow moisture to escape slowly, minimizing shrinkage, surface cracking, or detachment from the backing fabric. After completion, the material sheet is removed from the drying chamber and allowed to cool naturally. Next, each sheet is placed in an embossing machine to create a distinctive surface, resembling real leather. Inside the machine, 2 pre-machined steel embossing dies with patterns such as cowhide, saffiano, or various other surface textures are pressed onto the material at approximately 250 degrees Fahrenheit and under precisely controlled pressure. The combination of heat and pressure ensures that the embossed patterns are clearly visible without affecting the material's structure. By simply changing the embossing dies, manufacturers can create various surface textures to suit different product lines such as handbags, shoes, or automotive interiors. After surface finishing, each piece of vegan leather undergoes quality control before shipment. First, workers visually inspect for defects such as air bubbles, scratches, wrinkles, color variations, or uneven patterns. Next, samples are sent to the laboratory to evaluate key parameters such as tensile strength, tear resistance, adhesion between the coating and the base fabric, and the ability to withstand repeated bending without cracking. After passing all quality checks, the vegan cactus sheets are transferred to the cutting and processing stage. Throughout this process, every seam and joint is inspected to ensure durability and aesthetics. Once completed, the cactus material is transformed into finished products, ready to serve various fields, from fashion to interior design and accessories. From a plant that grows in arid lands, cactus leather undergoes a series of processes from harvesting, cleaning, grinding, drying, mixing, coating, drying, embossing, to quality control to become a modern vegan leather. While there is still debate about its sustainability and composition, it's undeniable that cactus leather is a testament to how materials science is creating new avenues to reduce reliance on traditional raw materials. In the future, cactus leather may not completely replace animal leather, but along with materials made from mushrooms, pineapples, apples, and many other biosources, it is opening up a new generation of materials where performance, sustainability, and technology are increasingly better balanced. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share so you don't miss the next fascinating exploration of the production process. See you in the next video.